Book 9, Odysseus' story, begins. The same wind that launched me from the beaches of windy Ilium after Troy's fall blew my fleet of ships to the land of the Cyclops. We sacked the rich city for plunder, dividing the riches so each man had his proper share. Then I commanded the men to board our ships and sail for home. But they resisted. They wanted to stay and drink from the great cask of wine, gorge themselves on plundered delicacies. While I argued with them and they loitered, ignoring me, the Cyclops who had escaped the city went quickly to their neighbors and gathered up an army to take revenge on us. They attacked with a force so numerous they were like the leaves in autumn. They drove us back to our ships, and I feared we might meet our end there. But we held them off long enough to launch our fleet and escape, though we lost 6 men from each ship's crew. We mourned the loss of our comrades, but we made good speed, and would have reached Ithaca soon enough, except the north wind, stirred up by Zeus, pushed us off course, and we found ourselves in unknown waters. We sighted land, and found a good harbor with fresh water. I sent a group of men out to see if any sort of people inhabited this sunny shore. But they did not come back. You see, this was the land of the Lotus Eaters. They made my men friendly offers of fruit from the lotus plant, which made them forget all their cares, forget their homes too, and want nothing more than to stay and enjoy the blissful euphoria this plant bestows. When I saw what had happened, I was dismayed, and I had to drag them forcefully back to the ships, ordering my other men to tie them beneath the benches and row quickly away. Lucky that I did not taste that fruit. As we sailed farther into the unknown seas, a fog descended, and for a time we could see nothing. Suddenly our ships ran up on a sandy beach. We found that we had sailed into a calm harbor, and we rested there thankfully for the night. In the morning we saw that we were on a small but lush island, with wild goats jumping among the rocks and a fresh stream running down the hill. We had soon brought down enough game for a fine feast, accompanied by the wine we had taken from the Cyclops. As we ate, we eyed the rocky shore that stood across a narrow channel from us, and saw cooking fires and other signs of habitation. I determined to go and see what sort of people lived there, and ordered my ship readied while the rest of the fleet stayed securely in harbor. As we approached, we saw a great cave near the shore with sheep pens surrounding it. Something made me uneasy, so I picked 12 of my best fighters, armed myself well, and by some inspiration brought with me a cask of our best and strongest wine. We found the cave deserted and quickly explored it. It was huge inside. Part of it was divided into pens, which were filled with lambs and kids. There was a great fire pit, an array of pails and baskets for making cheese. Some of my men wanted to steal the fine cheeses and return swiftly to ship. But I was curious to meet the owner of this cave, see if he would offer us his hospitality. It would have been better if I had listened to them. Soon enough, we saw him. He returned to the cave, herding a flock of fat sheep and rams. When he had them inside, he picked up a massive stone slab that was lying by the entrance and slid it easily across the opening. His strength and bulk terrified us, so that we cringed in the shadows, as one by one he milked his fat ewes, curdling some of the milk for cheese and leaving 2 great pails to drink from. When he had put all their sheep in their pens, each suckling under its dam, he lit a fire and suddenly spied us.
"What? Strangers! Who might you be, little men, and what are you doing in my cave?"
"Sir, we are travelers from afar, who chanced upon your shore and found your cave. We humbly beg your hospitality. Remember that the guests are under the protection of Zeus."
"Zeus? We Cyclopes do not fear the gods. What ship brought you here? Where is it anchored? Are there more of you?"
"Sir, our ship was splintered upon the rocks and we swam ashore. The rest of our comrades drowned in the icy waters." After devouring 2 of my men, the Cyclops lay down to sleep. He did not fear us, for even if we could kill him, we could not possibly move the giant stone. We were trapped. In the morning, the Cyclops killed 2 more men for his breakfast, then drove his sheep outside and replaced the stone across the entrance as easily as a man might cap a quiver of arrows. I racked my brain for a plan that would let us escape alive from the clutches of the brute. And this was what seemed best to me. There was a massive staff of green wood lying in the cave, and I whittled this down to a sharp point and hid it in the back of the cave. I picked 4 of my strongest men to help me wield it when the time came. Once again, I had to stand by and watch as he killed 2 more of my men to make his dinner. When he had devoured them, I approached him. "Here, have some wine, monster. I brought it as a gift, though that means nothing to you. I'll wager it's finer than anything you have here."
"Give me some more, stranger, and tell me your name, for I will make you a gift in return for this magnificent wine."
3 times I filled the bowl, and he drained it empty. Then, when his wits were addled, I answered him. "You ask my name, and I'll gladly tell it. I am called Nobody. Now, you said you had a gift for me."
"Your gift, Nobody, is that I will eat you last."
"Deeper, twist."
No! I'll get you!
"Polyphemus, what's the matter? Is someone attacking you or trying to steal your sheep?"
Nobody's trying to kill me."
"Well then, if nobody's in there, you must be sick. There's nothing to be done about that except pray to your father, Poseidon."
"No! Idiots! Oh! Come on now, Nobody. Just try to escape."
Now I cast about for a way to slip past him, and my eye fell on the great fleecy rams. I lashed them together in 3s, with one of my men slung beneath. I saved the bulkiest of them all for myself, and digging my fingers into the thick wool, I swung beneath his belly and waited as the young dawn's fingers touched the eastern sky. The animals were jostling and bleating to go out into the pasture, but Polyphemus carefully ran his hands over each one's back before he let it out. He couldn't feel my men, though, shielded as they were.
"Old friend, why are you last of all? You always lead the way. Is it because you grieve for my eye, put out by that accursed Nobody after he got me drunk? Oh, if only you had the power of speech and could tell me where he's hiding, I'd smash his brains out."
"Cyclops, your victims have escaped, and the gods have paid you back for your crimes."
Crack! Fling! Bloosh!
The splash raised a swell that drove our ship almost back to the shore. My men rowed furiously, keeping silent now until we were twice as far away. Then, ignoring their desperate pleas, I called back to the Cyclops again. "Cyclops, if anyone asks who put out your eye, tell them it was Odysseus of Ithaca."
"Oh no! The old prophecy has come true! I was told Odysseus would rob me of my sight, but I always expected some giant of a man, not a puny trickster like you. But I am Poseidon's son, and he will hear my prayer. Poseidon, Earthshaker, god of the sable locks, if I am indeed your son, grant me revenge on Odysseus of Ithaca. Let him never reach his home, or if the other gods decree that he must, let him come late, after long suffering, with all of his comrades dead, and let him find trouble waiting for him at home."
So he prayed, and the gods heard him. Then he seized another boulder, even bigger than before, and hurled it after us. But this time it landed behind our ship, and the wave pushed us swiftly forward until we came to the little island where our comrades were waiting.